Hi, my name's Ellie, welcome to my channel, and we're gonna play with some makeup, yet again. What else would I be doing? I have some ranting and some complicated feelings. I have some wine because I just really didn't feel like putting on makeup until now when it's like 5 o'clock. So it's wine time, which will obviously help the quality of my videos. So, I'm in a couple different groups on Facebook, one of which is pretty exclusively just updates about makeup, which has been kind of slowing down, and I think that feeds in a little bit to the thing I want to have complicated feelings about. So, a lot of things are popping up and then being taken down. There are a decent amount of brands that are like, hey, with the worldwide outbreak and pandemic, we want to kind of halt a lot of products because yes, currently a lot of warehouses are still open and you can order a good chunk of stuff online. There is no guarantee how long that's going to stay open, especially for things deemed non-essential like makeup. It really is like I don't need a face of makeup to do anything. It's fun for me, but if I run out of foundation, we just don't wear foundation. It's not an essential item for me. It does not impact my job. I'm not a makeup artist or anybody who's doing makeup as a real job. So, I've had conflicting feelings because I think it is important to keep some stuff going just for morale and fun. Like, if you're stuck at home and you don't have anything to do to distract you from the very real anxieties of what's happening with our world and these outbreaks and how long it might go and how bad it might get, the ability to play with makeup, order something fun, get something that you might not have previously considered getting, and since you're not going into work or maybe you're working remotely, you got the time, maybe you order the fun thing, maybe you give yourself a little bit of a treat, which is still not what everybody's doing because a lot of people have some very uncertain employment. It's something I understand the point of potentially keeping going just so people can have something good and so people can give themselves a little something nice because you can't really, go out and buy something like you can't treat yourself to a cute dessert or a meal out right now. So, you're running out of things you can do to make like small little improvements to your day when you're having a bad day. I think a lot of people are going to end up replacing that with, expanding their cooking skills and baking stuff and having a good time. I attempted to plant some tomatoes today, so we will see how horribly that goes. Oh. I thought we had, like, potting supplies. Turns out we only really have cactus potting supplies. And I really don't think that's what tomato seeds are supposed to go in, but I put them in and we're gonna see what happens. Worst case scenario, I only used up some of the seeds, not all of the seeds. It's fine. Ish. Yeah, so a lot of brands have been trying to hop on things and say, hey, yes, we did have this scheduled, but with the outbreak, we're suspending all releases for the foreseeable future. So things will pop up, people will be like, oh, new product, and the brand will be like, actually not really, we're not releasing it yet. We forgot to comment and remove it from whatever warehouse or let them know not to post the online availability of the item. Okay, so we are through base, shadows. We're going into the Natasha Denona Love palette. I want to do like a pretty purple look, probably use Pure Love in Transparent. I really like Transparent. It's one of those purpley gold duochromes that I really like. I might also use Passion, but since Passion didn't adhere super well to my lid on its own, I might put down a cream base. We will see how fancy we're feeling, but with that down, let's just get into the colors so I can keep ranting. We're starting with Dream, which is one of my favorite formulas. It's the cream to powder, just the best one. It's so good. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous, no fallout purple. So, a lot of brands have been saying, yes, we had this scheduled, yes, we had this set to go. We're kind of pulling it for the time being to allow people to wait, which is a little different than what you're seeing with a lot of indie brands. A lot of indie brands are like, this is my livelihood, this is the only thing that I have to make money off of, so a lot of indie brands have been putting up sales and kind of running through what they can on stock, potentially doing pre-orders, so that you can keep their companies running during the outbreak. Some of them are trying to... Well, this ended up bigger than I planned. Some of them are also trying to modify some of their formulas and production lines to make other items. So, brands that were not previously making hand sanitizer might be making hand sanitizer. People might be moving over into skincare items a little earlier than they planned, just because people do need skincare still. Like, my skin will be really mad if moisturizer stops happening. So, hope that moisturizer keeps functioning for a while. The thing that kind of sparked me wanting to talk more about this is that in another one of my groups, we were discussing and becoming aware that Sephora has laid off a bunch of employees. Which I have conflicting feelings on. Because I get it. I get that with the storefronts being closed, employees being part-time instead of salaried, or even just hourly instead of salaried, they don't have anything to do. If the stores are closed and they haven't made another position or thing for them to do, they're technically employed, but they're not making any money, and depending on PTO and stuff like that, the company is... Sorry, itching. The company is having to pay certain things, like different insurances on the size of their employment, that is not accurate. They're not really doing the work of having those people in the stores. And if they're not going to have them come in inside closed stores or do any type of remote pickup type situation, there's really not a lot the employees can do other than sit there and not make money. It sucks. The way that I heard that they did it was not great. I'm going to go in with a little bit of commitment to deepen up this outer half. So it sounded a lot like they basically pulled a bunch of employees onto a conference call and then just kind of let them know in an impromptu conference call that part-time store employees were out of a job. That is not how I would have wanted to see that handled, but I see the point in that they're not doing a job right now. They're not working hours, they're not being paid anything during that time that the store is closed. But if they are laid off or fired, they can collect unemployment. They can apply and make some money in the meantime. So, I really don't like the way it was done, but I can see a big upside to why it would have been done at all. So I'm taking this really gross looking Giorgio Armani cream shadow in Platinum to kind of just put it on my base lid so that I can put in some of those more powdery shadows. I'm just going to pat it just because I don't need it to be super opaque. I'm not trying to cut a crease or anything. I'm just trying to get it down here for extra adherence. Make sure it's not a super defined line. So, it's not nice. It's not how if, I would want to be laid off, which I might be next week. Who knows? Our company went from having a goal to have people back on the 6th to getting a call from my boss, or a text from my boss today saying, hey, just wanted to keep everybody in the loop. We don't currently have a date that the office will reopen or like a back to work date, but just wanted to keep everybody updated on what I do know, which is that we don't have one. So we are in an area with a stay-at-home order, so it would be kind of weird to shift it from putting a lot of people home and saying we were non-essential, because a lot of our doctors do elective procedures, to saying, yes, come in, all of a sudden we're essential. No. But yeah, I would not want to be laid off via a conference call. I would have appreciated that being handled differently, but I see what they can do now. They can go in and they can do other things. They can apply for unemployment, and hopefully there's some type of system in place that once they are able to open up the stores, able to do this before, they still have all the contact information for those employees. I'm going to start with Passion on the outer third. Just going to kind of ruin the purpliness of the look, but there's not really a dark purple shimmer in here. Like, there's Pure Love, but that's more of a medium. Even this is honestly a darker medium shade. But we'll see. We'll make it work. Because it is a gorgeous shade. It just doesn't... When I, had used it last time, it didn't adhere super well to the lid on its own. And I have cream shadows, so I might as well use them for my favorite use, which is creating a sticky base for pretty, pretty shadows. So yeah, I think it would have been better received if they had the store managers reach out to people individually or do smaller ones and say, hey, our plan is to let you guys go so that you can apply for unemployment, because you can currently do that and y'all deserve to be paid in the interim. But that involves legally laying people off. So I'm just patting a little bit of Pure Love on the middle bit of the lid. I want to leave a lot of space for that pretty shade. So yeah, I think it would have gone a long way to say it a bit more personally. Now we're going in with transparent. To say it to people directly, to have somebody that they'd worked with previously say the thing. Oh, I'm not really liking how this is turning out. It's not as purple as I thought it was gonna be. Like, the crease is real purple, but the lid is not living up to my expectations. No, I don't think I like this. Too late. It's on my face. I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, I see the benefit of legally making them laid off or fired so that you can allow them to file for unemployment and get some assistance in this time, since with the stores being closed, they don't really have the ability to make money. Even saying that, it's still not a great way to treat your employees to do it over a impromptu conference call. But I think we're going to be seeing that a lot. We're going to be seeing a lot of companies taking those bits and laying people off, either long-term or short-term, until they can get the stores back open and running. I'm going to put a little bit of transparent mixed with blind on the inner corner. Yeah, blind might have been a better option for that inner third. We'll have to do it again someday. But it's just, it's not nice, and it's particularly bad press because since it was handled poorly, it showed up in my group as a big negative for Sephora. It showed up as, ooh, maybe we should stop supporting Sephora, which will not allow the company to rehire those displaced employees after they're able to open stores again. So, complicated feelings. Maybe we do. No, we're not messing with it anymore. It's a look that I don't really like, but we were making do. We'll figure it out next time. We will do a more purple look next time. Yeah. So, and I had that same initial reaction, being like, oh, fuck Sephora. That's really rude for them to lay off their employees. Oh, I forgot I was going to try and... I'm thinking about whether or not I want to do purple brows using that cream to base shadow. We'll decide once I get to brows, which is just a couple steps away. We'll do bronzer in the meantime. So, the way it is received and handled, the way the employees take it, is going to have a lot to do with how this affects the company long term. And I think that was a bad PR move to not handle it a bit more sensitively, or potentially let them know if that was their plan. Maybe it isn't their plan. Maybe they're just cutting costs because they're not making as much money with the stores being closed. I really don't know. I don't really also know if they had any plans to rehire that staff when everything gets a little bit more moving again. I would hope that if you had people you liked working at a store, like, they're most likely employed because you liked them. They made it through the interview process. They were working in the stores, unless they were like just waiting to schedule a time to fire a good chunk of their staff. These people were working there because Sephora valued them. So why would you not at least put something, just kind of a casual verbal agreement saying, hey, we're doing this for this time frame. Once things pick back up, we would really love to have you guys back. But I don't know if that would complicate them being able to get unemployment pay. I don't know. I also know that there's plenty of CEOs that are still getting paid in this meantime that don't really need that money the same way their hourly employees need it. That maybe they could have done what at least some of the CEOs and executives in my company did, which was take a pay cut in order to free up PTO. Which that might come back to attack me if they lay us off next week, but I don't know that yet. I do appreciate them taking that cut in pay so that they could free up some funds to give PTO available to people they were about to send home for 2 weeks without a lot of notice. So at least right now I am still getting paid. Don't know how long that's going to keep going. Don't know when we get to go back to work. Don't know much of anything, but I think it is nice that they kept us paid for now. Putting on the blush and the bronzer. Oh. I know some of my friends and family have had issues. Apparently, unemployment is harder to apply for depending on where and how long you've worked. So I don't know how many of those employees are going to be available to apply. We're going to try purple brows. We're going to try it. I might hate it, but I already don't really like my eye look, so we're just going to keep going. I'm going to use Dream and potentially darken it with Commitment if I'm feeling dangerous. I'm not going to put any brow powder or brow wax down just because this is a cream to powder formula. I'm hoping it will do kind of like a really dry, pomade. And also because Jenna put color in her brows the other day, so I'm going to put color in my brows. I used to do this sometimes when I had colorful hair. I would do it with some of my old colorful liners. And it was fun sometimes. It's not showing up a ton for you guys, but I believe in it. Let's give it a second. Kind of starting to be there. It's not a strong purple. Especially because my brow hairs are darker than you would expect them to be. Yeah, you can kind of see that it's purple. It's not doing much in the way of being purple. Not really. Just looks like a slightly normalish brow. At least when I look in the viewfinder. Maybe you guys can see the purple tones better. Maybe it's tricking me. So, how do you guys feel about companies laying off employees in order to allow them to, whether purposefully or not purposefully, apply for unemployment? Do you think that's something that they should have made the employees more aware of? Do you think it was actually their goal? Am I completely off base when I assume that's part of it? Would you rather be on unpaid leave waiting for your store to open back up, or would you rather go on PTO and then hopefully try to get your job back later? I don't know. I'm in a pretty privileged position in that my family is in a place to help with bills if they get overwhelming, if I have to stay not working but technically employed. Even though I'm sure my parents would prefer I be able to file for unemployment if they're not going to get me back to work. I would like to be able to go back to my job at some point. Okay, we're going to go dangerous. I'm going to pick up some of commitment. Kind of put it in the body of the brow before sweeping it out to deepen that tail. That's darkening things a little bit. See, and this is a conflicting test for me because I'm panning a brow product, but I also like the idea of potentially multitasking other brow options for myself, such as purple brows that don't look very purple on camera, but are in fact purple. It makes me kind of hope that Natasha Denona will eventually bring this eyeshadow formula out as a brow option because it's nice. It's filling in, it's adhering well. You wouldn't need the wax like you do with some kind of eyeshadowy style duos where you put the wax down and then the brow powder, which is basically just a brown eyeshadow. It's not making much of a tail over here at all. There we go. Okay, quick brush through. Spent a whole ton of time on brows to make something that you guys probably can't tell very well is purple. Woo! So, the eye look is growing on me. The more I see it, it's just not what I wanted, not what I was expecting. I might need to do a purple look tomorrow with different shimmer shades, because it's just not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. I am going to keep my trend going of doing Blue Moon and Blue Ice for my cheeks, since we're so close. We're so close. Maybe I'll just get that corner, since everything's super spread out. Give me that corner. Give me that corner of product. pretty iridescent on its own. That is the other dangerous thing about panning stuff, is sometimes you start putting on probably way more product than you need, just trying to get that corner used up. Like, I'm tempted to put it on my collarbone right now, even though I have a different, like, kind of tacky liquid highlighter on my brow bone, or collarbone, which you can't see very well because of the lighting, but we're so close. So we're just going to build up Blue Moon a little bit more instead of layering Blue Ice. And it's going to be too much, but this whole look is too much, and it's fine. Get out of there. All I'm doing is staying at home drinking wine and making dinner, so we'll be fine. So, almost gone. You can see that tiny little bit of product that I wanted to use up, but I'll get it tomorrow. It'll be fine. Might as well spray my face so that we can keep this weird look I've made. Keep it going. So, how do you guys feel? Chat me up, tell me what's on your minds about handling employees that you can't really work or pay since you're not putting them to work. How you would appreciate the layoff being handled. Are you guys buying makeup right now? I've ordered a little bit here and there, but a lot of it was stuff that I'm close to out of. Like, I ordered some more powders because I don't really like the powders I have, and I don't know, I'm going through them pretty quickly. I ordered some foundation because one of my foundation that I'm mixing together is about to be done. I did place an order with an indie brand because as of right now I still have some money. It was not a big expense to place an order with them, and it was something I'd wanted for a while, and it's on sale since a lot of indie brands are putting on sales. Are you guys even really thinking about any of that right now, or are you just trying to keep fed and safe? Because I didn't really take into account how, like, my family cooks a big amount. Like, I was already cooking most of my meals from scratch anyway, but if you didn't have those skill sets, are you guys taking the time now to potentially be home to learn? Or are you just stocking up on, like, freezer dinners and stuff? How's everybody doing? Oh, that's what I was gonna do. Might still do it. One itty bitty eyelash. Was gonna take the last of that dried up mascara that I'd been using because it was a burgundy, and I was gonna put it in my brows and see how that went, but I already put a bunch of shit in my brows. Maybe that'll be tomorrow, because I don't want to keep putting it so close to my eye since it's getting older, but there's still a little bit of product in there, and it might work better as a tinted brow gel if it's a little dried up, like it is. Yeah. The longer I wear it, the more I'm adjusting to it. It's not what I wanted. It's cute. It's kind of romantic now that it's got lashes and stuff framing it, but had a different plan that I'll probably show you tomorrow, because I wanted, like, the crease is kind of where I wanted it. I wanted it, like, purple, but not too purple. And then I wanted a deep outer corner, and I have these gorgeous, like, metallic lavender to gold duochromes. That I wanted to use, because eventually my Glaminatrix gold duochrome Easter collection is coming. I don't know when, but eventually. And I wanted to see how many similar colors. Like, I know I've probably got some gold that flashes lighter gold duochromes. I have a couple lavender that flashes gold duochromes that I think are similar to one of the ones in the collection, but I don't know how many of the other shades I have dupes for. So while I wait, I was going to be like, let me see how many, you know, pastel flashing gold duochromes I have. Probably a lot, because that is a very, very flattering type of duochrome. It gets you a pretty pastel shade, like a mint or a purple or like a blue, that are very flattering as eyeshadow shades, and makes them a little bit more approachable with that light shift of gold. Normally like a champagne gold. I know, nobody likes me fussing with my lashes too long, but I can't help myself. It just, I feel like I have to get stuff in the exact spot. Huh. Lips. Since it ended up more nude than I was planning, I think we'll go with a gloss. I have some glosses in here. That'll work. I am going to line my lips just because I have a lip liner and I haven't used it very much. You can tell I don't line my lips very much. I know lip gloss tends to kind of leak out of my lip line and get a little messy. And then lift the foundation underneath that. So I'm hoping the little border of lip liner will do something to prevent that. Probably not, because I'm a mess, but maybe. And it's like a beige, pinky nude, old ass liner. I might as well use it and get in the habit of using it, so then when I get it more liners, which is in my goal eventually. Yeah, that'll do. This is from Fenty. This is Vecray from their summer lipstick lip gloss bundles from a couple years ago. They're nice. I don't wear them very often. I should. No, but I think I might have one of my ones I was thinking about. Oh no. Back here in my huge pile of singles. It's from Cliena. It's called Hex. And it's gorgeous, but I think it's kind of a dupe of some of the stuff that I was thinking about. Oh, those are pretty. Not what I was thinking of, but pretty. Maybe it's in this one, where I put a bunch of my shimmers. Yes! Okay, how to get it out without hurting any chateaus in the process. Ha. So, this is Hex from Cliena Cosmetics. I believe I have a single, and then it also came in, well, no, I have it in a palette and as a single because it ended up in a bundle. They kept some of the ones from the Witchcraft and Alchemy. This is one of them, and it is gorgeous. This is kind of what I was expecting that inner third shade to look like. It's so beautiful, so gorgeous. I might have to reattempt this look tomorrow with this one because it is so pretty. I won't put it on because I've already put on a bunch of different makeup, but like these types of duochromes that have a soft base with that flash of gold, they're very, very flattering. They're very, very approachable if you haven't used a lot of duochromes before, if you haven't used a lot of pastels. They're so pretty. So pretty. And I don't know how many of these types of things I have, but I think I have this shade at least once or twice. I believe it's also in Tarte Make Believe in Yourself has, I believe, this type of a gold purple, like lilac-y duochrome. I think there's also a peachy one, which might be part of the Glaminatrix pastel gold duochromes. So I was going to see if I could find them. Who knows how much time I'll have, because I don't know how many days I'm going to be home now, since we moved from attempting to be back in the office on the 6th to kind of being up in the air, but maybe we'll do something with these gorgeous, gorgeous approachable duochromes that I have, or I'll fall back into my multichrome thing. I didn't want to make like everyday multichrome, even though I kind of want to make everyday multichrome, especially if my approach was going to be the same of, oh, pick a light and then a medium to deep and then put them on 2/2 of the eyes. But I did. Let me... kind of want to do something like that. Either mixing two of the glitters together, something like Abrasion and one of the lighter ones, or something like this one or this one with some of the pastel-y glitter ones. I really still don't think I can mix the jeweled multichromes into a look with like the glitter ones. I don't think it's gonna work that way very well. Oh no, making a mess. But they're pretty. I have some ideas. We'll see what I can do over the next couple days. Put on too much lip gloss, it's kind of goopy. I'm gonna go make dinner. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully you liked the look better than I did. And let me know how your jobs are handling it, if you guys are out of work, if you prefer to be unemployed and collect unemployment, or have a more guaranteed job waiting for you at the end of the tunnel, but not get paid. I don't know. It's very complicated, like everything lately, so. Thank you guys for stopping by. I will see you tomorrow. Bye.